Okay, I know there's a lot going around of Sega don't listen to the community, Sega don't care about global, and I haven't even talked about many times of the redheaded stepchild aspect of PSO officially in the West. But with that being said, though, we did get a little bit of an insight from Gwiz and Danger over the last few days from the headline stream, plus going into a little more detail at least about a very specific topic that have been floating around for a bit and honestly have upsetted a lot of people, especially if you are a bait PSO2 player or if you are someone that mainly use PSO2 as a, I guess, stepping stone to get your hands on a whole bunch of star gems. We finally got some word from Sega and what they could mean for the changes that is happening with pretty much taking away star gem from base game elite when they come to the weeklies and whatnot. And before we hop into all that, I like to say welcome back to your number one stop for PSO2 New Genesis gameplay, how-tos, and everything in between, and of course, all that jazz. And of course, I do want to give a very special thank you to everybody that's supporting over on patreon.com/Maconn, subscribing over on twitch.tv/TroyMaconn, and of course, memberships here below on YouTube. Links in the description for all that. So thank you, my dudes. And of course, a giant thank you to 1K for supporting at the Luna tier over on Patreon. So thank you, my dudes. And with that, let's go ahead. Let's jump into what Gwit and Danger had to say about this subject, and then we will go any more into it.
Obviously, I mean, we're not here to like say this is going to happen or that's going to happen, you know. But what I will say is that if the goal of the PSO2 community, the PSO2 global community, and I mean specifically the PSO2 community, not the New Genesis community, but if the goal was to make thoughts on certain spec changes regarding CMSG rewards clear to the dev team, you did that.
You did that.
You succeeded in that.
You
The
got
feedback
their
panel.
attention.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah, it was caused heart palpitations a little bit.
Stop.
Yeah.
Already dead.
Yeah, it wasn't like just one comment with a bunch of upvotes. No. So
And I don't want y'all to like think that I'm like whining or anything about
not
it,
whining.
because no, it's one of those things is like 9 out of 10 times I agree with whatever, you know, and when the overwhelming amount of players feel a certain way about something, 9 times out of 10 I agree with them. Obviously, and as I said, Danger and I we don't have anything that we can share today.
No.
But what we can say is that if the goal was to be heard by the dev team, by the publisher, by the head honchos working on this game,
by the stars practically.
well, I'm Gwiz on the stars, so I'm pretty qualified to talk about that.
That's true.
I'd say mission successful. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, like, I mean, without naming names, someone that you would, a name that you may recognize if you know your PSO and the people who work on it. I talked to that person the other day, and I was like, I cannot emphasize to you enough how many people are saying this. So again, it doesn't come down to me and Danger. This is bigger than us, but we want to carry your voice, and y'all gave us more than enough ammunition to work with.
Yeah.
So
as you can see with the discussion that Gwit and Danger were having, that obviously what was happening here on the web with the removal of the star gem and base was not only a very loud select few, but a very loud community as a whole. And good job, everyone, for getting out there, posting on all the area, might be Twitter, Discord, or anywhere in between. And it honestly really good to know for once when the community as a whole speak out about something, that there is, you know, some amount of killing that is happening or being brought to the attention of JP. Because let's be honest here, when it comes to the global side, Gwid, Danger, and everyone else that work on the global side usually did a pretty good job of being involved in the community and pretty much keeping track of everything that have happened in the community. But with that being said, I know a lot of the time it feel like JP just don't really care all that much. But it's fantastic to actually see that at least a lot of concern that all of us had about the Stardom situation. And of course, if you don't know what I am talking about, we did a video about this a few days ago. I'll have it linked above that will go more into detail exactly what's happening. But let's just say it pretty much hurting the bait PSO players. But with that being said, though, is thanks to Gwiz and Danger passing on the information and very drastically being like, hey, this is something to look at. This is not just a small little complaint from a handful of players. It's fantastic, but what did it mean for PSO2 moving forward? Obviously, the answer is we don't actually know here, especially since Gwiz and Danger give the information and very highly tell them not to do it or not in a specific way. Does this hold any weight? Honestly, I personally don't think it will. Don't get me wrong, it would be nice if they will, of course, Elite on the global side backtrack the decision. I can't speak for JP as a global player for like how that whole side operates. So if you are a JP player and you keep track of what's happening in JP, let me know in the comment below how Japan is feeling about that. Because like I said, on the global side, it didn't go over well. And honestly, it would be, like I said, fantastic if they like, okay, fine, we will keep this in global. You guys can keep your star gems. You do you. Because it had been very much established with the changes coming in NGF, with them adding more star gems there, it still don't equal nearly as much as base, which in return not only affect bait PSO, but also affect pretty much the free-to-play side of the whole game in general. Might it be bait, might it be NGS, or both. That this was something that was very important for a lot of people to take part in, especially if you are the free-to-play player. And as a PSO or New Genesis have kind of progressed here, we have seen it leaning more and more into pretty much not so much pay to win, but very quickly approaching that line of being a little bored when it comes to the whole Meseta situation and the economy situation and what that means as someone who's been money in the game. But with it being said, hopefully this is a step forward to hopefully not just do blind change it across the board, because let's be totally honest here, we have seen it for the last like 2 years or so, that PSO2 just been slowly getting gutted in many ways, in a lot of ways that don't even really make sense, especially here in global, beyond the whole ideal of SEGA very much want everybody to play NGS, or just not really caring about the global side that much at all, or like I have stated, the head stepchild ideal. And hopefully this is a little bit of a step in the right direction. Well, we will start seeing a little more love and care, or a little more thought given to the global side, especially with how young PSO2 and NGS actually is over here. Because, don't get me wrong, we had, the original game, we had Universe, but let's be honest, we had a good almost 10 years out of nothing. And at that point, in a lot of ways, a PSO in the West is semi getting rebuilt from the ground up, and honestly, some of the decisions really hurt that franchise as a whole over here. So hopefully this is just our fourth sense of like a domino effect that might actually start happening over here, or they could just mean nothing at all, and any amount of information or how much desire Gwiz, Danger, or anyone else on the global team have may not matter at all at the end of the day. But it still at least I get verification of feelings that I know I have had for the last few years when it comes to PSO and healing the community is, of course, global. Obviously, it's fine. Global is not really an issue at all in that way. But the payoff here is, or I get verifying, depending, is either Japan going to finally start, caring about global, or that will be just pretty much another nail in the coffin of JP just being whatever towards us over here. We will have to wait and see, but like always, it's still good to know we have people in there that is trying to get the information to JP and have the power to. Any of it, they may or may not actually do anything with it on the JP side. And of course, this is verifying as well that when a issue like they come up, your voices will be heard if you speak loud enough and in the right places. So make sure you keep any opinions that are happening, especially when it comes to like this type of stuff or anything more relevant. Be sure to keep letting Sega know how you feel and cross your finger and hope that the global team can get the information across to JP and the JP developers will actually listen to it. Personally, hopefully that will be a walk back and nothing will change and just be left as is. I'm not that hopeful, but you know, we can still dream, right? But with that, let me know in the comment below how exactly you are feeling about this. Was you someone who was upset about that? Or did you even know that was happening at all with the stripping away of Star Gem over here in the West when it comes to bait game? Let me know below. And of course, any feedback you give down here is of course very helpful. And also make sure you post all of it as well over on the official Discord for PSO2 as well. And I will keep you guys up to date on what's going to happen here, if anything. So make sure you do the thumbs up and subscribe so YouTube will know to send you guys my video. So you can keep track with all this as we move forward and forward into New Genesis. And hopefully more into JP not just looking at us as a, I guess, a attachment that was, you know, kind of put on them by Microsoft giving them a bucket of money. So hopefully we can keep you guys up to date on all of that, and we can hope for the best for PSO. But I get to that time, do all that, and of course, once again, big thank you to everybody that's supporting on Patreon, Twitch, as well as here on YouTube through memberships. And of course, by the time you've seen that video, I should be live over on twitch.tv/TroyMaconn. So come on over here, link to everything in the description below, as well as where you can watch the full headline stream plot with Gwiz and Danger. I highly recommend. There is a whole bunch of stuff that did come out that we will have videos on coming very, very soon. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and do it for me. And of course, I will see you in the comments.